Hey friends, welcome back to APinkeClothlife. It's a brand new month. It's June, and today we're doing a full budget reset. I'll be checking in on my debt, planning out my finances for my small business, Pink Cloth, and also talking through the self-care routines that I will be implementing for myself this month. Because we are not just budgeting, we are budgeting our energy too. So first of all, let's start off with reflection. We had some wins and it also had some challenges. I had some unexpected expenses. Well, kind of, but not really. But I call them unexpected expenses. And truthfully, I didn't hit every goal, but the key thing that I want to keep in mind is that I made progress. Super important. And to me, that's what matters the most. So let's just start fresh for June. So if you are doing your budget and you felt like May was a struggle, I want you to just pause like I am going to do. So I'm doing this with you. And we are going to start off June fresh. Okay, so all that little stuff that was in May, throw that over there. It's bow. Throw it over there, and we are going to be working on June. So I am actually going to be showing you exactly what my budget planner setup looks like for this month, and then we're going to be going over my budget month outlook. I'm going to go over that with you guys too. There are some things that I want to kind of implement. I think I need to be more detailed with my budget outlook planning for the month than what I've been doing, but we'll see how that goes because we are going to take it one step at a time.
Usually when I'm doing my budget, I like to make a fresh cup of coffee, and especially when I'm doing a monthly reset. So this month I am working on spending more intentionally and cutting back on impulse spending. Having something that you enjoy makes a huge difference in being productive and getting your goals set. Now, there are going to be certain parts of your budgets that are not always going to be fun, but they are going to be super necessary. So when you're not on track, I want you to remember you're not behind. You're just getting real, and that's very, very powerful. So a quick focus on my business. I like to set aside a day each week to focus on admin, inventory, and product listings. So this is pretty much track monthly business expenses like materials, shipping, fees, write down revenue goals, plan sales, and marketing ideas. So I want to start batching content ahead of time because running a business and working full-time is no joke. So let's go ahead and get out our materials that we need to start budgeting. I like to keep all of my items in my caddy tote for easy access. So let's go ahead and open up our budget planner, and we are going to move ahead to my June section. We're going to be adding stickers, and I like to use tweezers. Y'all know I'm a little bit extra, and they're purple. So we're going to be placing the stickers down of the days of the month, and then we're going to put the rest of the stickers down for our paydays and also for our bills. Using a month at a glance calendar allows me to write down all of my income on the days that they're coming in. I can also track fixed expenses, and I can also track my spending and no spend days on calendar days. I can also include when I need to add extra money to my buffer, or if I have money that is coming out that I don't have in my account. So this month, it's going to keep me pretty much organized and on track for my budgeting. So after I lay down all of my dates, I will then apply my bill due stickers, which includes the bills that are due, the due date, and then how much they are actually going to cost me. And there is a little splotch on there, which is considered a checkbox that I just check off. So when the bill is paid, I can keep track and see it all at a month at a glance. And I'm just going to go ahead and add in my bi-weekly paydays. So next here we have my monthly bill tracker. So this is going to help me track all of my fixed expenses, which will be rent and for some people, and then for us it's going to be mortgage, and then it will also include utilities, subscriptions, and my son's after school care, which will be one left, and then we're going to go to summer camp. And then you can also write down extra payments that are going to be coming out of your account. And then also I like to include if this is an automatic payment that is coming out of my account or just a regular. So I do highlight those so I can keep track of what is coming in and going out of my account. So for the space below, I like to do the highlighter method at the end of each month, so that way I can categorize all of my spending. So if I have like all of daycare and after school care, I can all add that up, and then I can see how much I am spending on my son monthly. So now that we're done, let's jump into it.
And the first thing I like to do is I like to pretty much start off with my monthly bill tracker, and this right here I'm going to be filling in my calendar, which I've already pretty much done. And these are the stickers, and this sticker book is in my shop. These are the stickers that I use for my budget planner. I do offer more stickers, but these are the ones that I've just been using in my book because they have the numbers, so I don't have to write the numbers in. And y'all know I'm going to be extra with the purple tweezers. I'm sorry, I like color. So I have already, and we're going to use this as our pointing tool. So I have already pretty much laid down all of my bills that I have here, but I do want to do a budget focus. And a budget focus, I have so many pens in here. What we got going on in here? So many that I can't find anything. So you mean to tell me I have all these pens in here and I can't find anything? So my budget focus is that I want to start doing no spend tracking on my monthly calendar. And those of you that have been watching my videos for a long time, I used to do this a lot, so I'm going to go back to it because I've kind of gotten off of it. And this is where I said that I didn't hit every goal, and one of my goals was tracking my expenses for weekly and when I spend. So I'm going to go back to doing that. And basically what that is that once I write all of my expenses for that week, I go back and I actually use a no spend sticker. These are in my shop also. I put it on the days that I don't have a no spend, even if I do have a bill that's coming out. This is mostly from the cash that is coming out of my cash wallet, like that impulse spending, like the spending that I'll have if I stop at Chick-fil-A, the spending that I'll have if I go to the Dollar Tree, the spending if I say, hey, I want to take my personal money, I want to go get a wallet or a purse. So those are the things that I will be using for spending. And then my no spend days, and then also if it's gas, and also if it's groceries. So these are things that are mostly coming out of my cash that's in my everyday cash spending wallet. So that's where that will be coming from. And also I have all of my due dates, and so that's what I want to do as a budget focus. Notes, the only thing I have extra would be my safe deposit box, safe PO box, safe PO box, safe deposit box. Where am I getting that from? Box, but this is right here is first pretty much a business expense. I cannot talk, and that's $96, but that is taken from the business checking, so that doesn't come out of my personal. But I like to put it in here too because it's still dealing with finances, and the more I see it, the more I will make sure that I'm more aware of it. And that for that case there. And then for the paydays, we have the 6th, and then we have the 20th. So some tips that you want to do is to pretty much, when you're doing this, when you're going to do your paycheck budgets, but we'll get ahead to that. So I'm going to give you some tips. But for this section here, I would say to pretty much track all of your fixed expenses and set your cash envelopes. And that's what I mean by tracking my spending. So that's what that is for. And then also to make sure that when you do your paycheck budgets, to include a buffer, and that will be the amount of money that you have left over after you do your paycheck budgets. Now we're going to hop to my budget month outlook super quick. So my last month wins was, okay, so I did continue to add to my Roth IRA. And the key thing that I think that is going good for my Roth IRA is that it is automatic payments. So that is, I think that is keeping me in the cycle of being consistent with that. So it just automatically comes out. So I have 100 coming out of it. Now I do have the availability to make a deposit, like go to the counter and make a deposit with the teller. So that is another option that I have. But as of now, because I want to keep things as simple as possible, I just have the automatic payment coming out. And then also I pretty much I pulled my budget book out at least, I think I did at least 3 times a week. So I just feel like the more it's in your face, the more you're going to be wanting to look at your budget. And another good important thing that I have to do myself is, instead of doing it 3 times a week, instead of doing it 4 times a week, I need to make sure I look at it every single day. There are always people that you hear it sometimes, like in the news, or you look at YouTube videos, you see people say like things have came out of their account, funny subscriptions they don't even know about. And I think those things slide by when you don't take a look at your finances daily, because these time and ages you have to like keep continuously check just to make sure that there's nothing coming out that's not supposed to. So that's like a good rule of thumb, is to check and to make sure like small automatic charges, because they start small and then they start to get big. All right, so no spend goal. So this, for my no spend goal, I don't have any type of like amounts that I want to do, but what I want to do is I want to track my spending. And then I have my little tracking book, and then I need to put that back in my purse. So if you have, and it doesn't have to be a fancy tracking book, it could be like a little notebook. I got this little notebook a while back from here we go, 𝗖𝗢𝗗𝗘𝗧. I got that from her. This could be just like a little notebook. This is a calendar, but you can also use this also and say like on Wednesday, this is my this is what I brought. Tuesday, this is what I brought. Or you can just use a plain little notebook, and I might probably just stick this in my thing and I might just use it, because that's a good idea. Good job, Tina. And then savings goal, I want to continue to add to my emergency fund, because emergency funds these days, I feel like it is like super, super, super important. And it's always good to have a buffer, because you just never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to leave it like this, because like I said, I want to be more realistic. I don't want to have a whole bunch of different goals and things that I have. But soon as I cut this camera off, like I'm like, that's too much. So I want to make sure that I'm being freaking realistic. I want to make sure that I'm being realistic with myself and with you guys also. So that'll cut back on stressed and just having real numbers and a realistic budget. Debt payoff. So I am working on my Capital One card, and that was another goal that I didn't hit. So that's another thing that I had. So I actually wanted to be at $700 for my card at this point, but I don't think I'm going to make the July 31st mark. But I do have, where's my sheet? Oh, I didn't take it out of here. So all I have to do here, and that's why I like the disc bound, because you can just pretty much just move it over to the next section. So this is what I'm working with. So with Capital One, I wanted to get to 700, but I didn't. So I ended up at 896.55, which is less than what this is. So pretty much it's still, I still, give myself grace, and I still am happy that I did make a dent in it. Investment goals. So we're going to continue with Roth IRA contributions. Okay. All right, and then if I have any extra, I will just get a small thing of SCHD
but that is only if I have extra and not to stretch myself. All right, important dates. I am not sure about the important dates this month. I just know my car property tax is due the 5th. Decals are due. No, not decals. P.O. box. So P.O. box is due. And then Aiden does have a dentist appointment. But it's just a cleaning, so that's free, so it's no extra. So here is just all of my automatic payments. So all I did was just write down the payments. I like to use a highlighter, and I like to do the ones that are coming out automatically. So that keeps in my mind to make sure to check to see if they've come out. So once they've automatically come out and I can see it in my check ledger, I want to go ahead and mark it off. So what I'm doing here is I did go through to look to see if there's anything that I can cut back. Now summer camp is going to bump up to $150. So it was $90. So we do have a jump in that. So, and then plus it's going to be extra $750 for swim a week. And then when they have the truck for Craveables, that's ice cream, that's going to be an extra $383. So that's some other things that we have to take in consideration for summer camp. Summer camp is good for kids, but I'm not going to lie to you, summer camp is freaking expensive. But I mean, you can't send them to after school before in school care because what? School is out. So you have to do what you have to do, and you have to pretty much plan. And I do have some funds that were available in my holiday event binder, and I have to add more sheets. So I didn't attack this as well as I thought I was. And like I said, it's okay. So I've already taken the money and I've already transferred it, but for summer camp I only did a little bit. So this is what I mean by doing like holiday binders, where you can save money for different things for that month. So I have to keep continuing adding money. So April is already done, and even if you don't fill up the whole book, it's still money towards it, so that's still a plus. What else we got here? Okay, and then this is the extra, the car property taxes, the P.O. box. And the car property taxes is what I had saved for in my sinking funds binder. And then at the end of the month, I always do a highlight method. So all of my car expenses, I just take a marker, like just say like if I highlight this box purple. So all of my car expenses like Geico, and we come down here. So now this would add to car property taxes. So these two here would be added. So I add those two totals amount. So that will tell me exactly what I had going out of my money for my car. So then I can look and say, do I really need Xfinity, which I actually do because that's the internet. And then I can look at like my credit cards and say, hey, you need to pay a little bit more on those because you need to get those down. All right, so next is just my paycheck budgets, and these are just blank sheets of when I get paid, so I can just figure out where my money is going. And then this is my weekly expense tracking. So this is where I told you guys that I want to start tracking, and I'm going to use a little book and keep that because I need to get back with this, because I've noticed I've gotten a little bit reckless with it. And these are extra sinking fund sheets. So I am actually going to put this debt payoff sheet right here. And this here is just, it comes out of a pad. For those of you guys that always ask me, it's just a pad here that I just pull it out of. And so it's this, and then I am actually out of stock of these, and it's just sheets, and I just pull them out. They come in 50 cents. So we are pretty much done there. So last but not least, I'm going to talk about self-care, and I'm going to jot this down here back in my notes here. So for my self-care, I want to, my self-care budget. And so I feel like budgeting, last but not least, self-care. And I feel like budgeting can be, make you have burnout, and burnout is real. So I am going to actually start journaling. And like I said, when you do like a reset in budgeting, it's not all about money. It's all about like your mental health, emotional, make sure you're stable and all that other stuff. So I want to journal at least once a week. Now I'm going to try to do it daily, but I'm going to set my main goal is once a week. And I want to also start to unplug my nights, unplugged nights. We'll do that. So no scrolling. So I want to cut out scrolling. I'll say about 8:45, 9ish, so that I can pretty much wind down, because I think I'm still on my phone later on and my brain is still rolling, and I think like scrolling, that doesn't actually help. So I think I'm going to pretty much start scheduling things to pop up at night but not actually be on. And then I'm going to actually do a low-cost treat to myself, and I think I might get ice cream at Brewster's, because oh my god, they have a toasted almond. It's so yummy. I got the hot fudge brownie sundae, toasted almonds with whipped cream. They put a cherry. Ugh. Who likes cherries? I don't like those Martian, I can never pronounce it. Whatever, those little red cherries with the stem. I don't like those. So I might do, it could be anything, like a spa night for myself. And this can be a DIY. I don't have to get all fancy. It could be a sit on my deck, and then or sit by fire pit, because some of these nights we got a new little fire pit area. I'll show you guys. It's super cute. But I don't know. Some nights have been kind of cool, so that works. Or I can just do a walk. That would be nice. So I'm giving myself a self-care budget tonight. I think $40. Now, so all right, so I changed my mind. No, I'm going to give myself a self-care budget. We're going to start it off at $20, because this is what I'm pretty much implementing into this month. So when you start off, I feel like you should just try things out, see how it works, and then if it does, bump it up. So this is not much, but it's enough for a few small things that refill me, that make me feel rejuvenated. And $20 should cover my ice cream from Brewster's. And that's how that should work. Okay, so this is just a rundown of what, let me know guys how you are doing with doing your budget reset. And so and just let me know in the comments, and if you did make it to the end, give me a heart, let me know. So that's my June reset: budget, debt, business, and self-care. So if you're starting over this month too, know that you are definitely not alone, and every month is a chance for you to grow and try it again. So please, please comment below one goal that you are setting for yourself in June. And don't forget to subscribe for this video if it helped you. And thank you guys so much. And until next time, guys, peace.